guys, that wrestling guy, and I'm back. And I've been gone the last couple of weeks because life got pretty hectic for that wrestling guy in the last couple of weeks. But I am back, and we're doing a Raw review. Let's get right to it. Raw opens with the official announcement of Alberto Del Rio versus Cena for the WWE Championship. Let's check that. There we go. For the WWE Championship. And, tell you the truth, I'm not a fan of this. I really don't think Cena needs yet another championship match, and he'll probably win, which is even worse. Punk's whole thing was that John Cena is always getting championship matches and always getting a chance to become the champion. And it's old and it's played out, and they want something new. So their way of giving him something new is giving him the same thing they've already seen. Anyway, Triple H comes out to the ring, as is the custom with all the Raws lately. And basically he says that for the foreseeable future, all the guys on Raw and SmackDown will be on Raw. Now, I don't know if the brand split's officially over. I hope it isn't, because a lot of people don't like the brand split, but I think it's a good thing. I think it gives the younger guys a chance to showcase what they got, because could you imagine if Raw and SmackDown had the same wrestlers on both shows? How is a guy like Cody Rhodes going to be able to compete with John Cena, and Randy Orton, and Sheamus, and The Undertaker when he comes back, and Triple H, and CM Punk? There'd be no room. That's why I think the brand split's a good thing. It gives the young guys a chance to showcase what they got. Now, it doesn't always work with people like Bobby Lashley and Kevin Nash, but I mean, I think it's a good thing. So I hope this is only a temporary thing. But for now, they're going to have guys on Raw and SmackDown. He also said that this is a super show because it has guys from Raw and SmackDown. Basically, CM Punk comes out with his Cult of Personality song. Great song. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's a nice little song. Anyway, he comes out and he says he really wants Triple H to just stop lying. Just admit that Kevin Nash is the one that sent him after him. Stop lying. Stop acting. Because they're plugging Triple H's new craptastic movie that no one will watch because it sucks. Just like The Chaperone sucks. Like The Marine sucks. Casino Evil sucks. Casino Evil is probably the best of the bunch, and it's still not that good. Gorgal wouldn't watch it, I can tell you that. Anyway, after which Nash comes out, and he comes out to the NWO theme, which is just weird. For those of you who don't know, like if you're too young to know it, in 1996, WCW, their rival promotion, launched the New World Order storyline with Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. The idea was that they were invaders from the WWF sent to infiltrate WCW and tear it down. The reason this makes no sense is because the original NWO had 3 people, and this is just Kevin Nash on his own. He was a part of the NWO, but he wasn't the only part. As a matter of fact, I would say he's the worst part, because he's useless. Anyway, Triple H wants to know why Kevin Nash lied to him, and Kevin Nash says that John Laurinaitis, the head of talent relations, signed him to a contract. And Kevin Nash says, why not just put me in a match with CM Punk at Night of Champions? And Triple H says, fine. So now it's official. CM Punk versus Kevin Nash. And this is a stupid, stupid idea. Kevin Nash can't wrestle. Kevin Nash couldn't wrestle 20 years ago when he was younger. What's he going to do now that he can barely move? Anyway, all of a sudden Randy Orton comes out for whatever reason, and that was kind of weird. But basically they're saying that Orton's going to wrestle Dolph Ziggler, who's the United States Champion, while Randy Orton is the World Heavyweight Champion, then a champion versus champion match. But neither belt is on the line. Basically, JR and the other 2 idiots, Jerry and Michael, do desperately try to make people think that Ziggler has a chance of winning this match, building him up, showing him doing his finishing moves and on various other wrestlers. And I mean, does anybody really think that Ziggler's going to beat Randy Orton? Anyway, they have the match, and the match is actually okay. I mean, I like Dolph Ziggler. I think he's underrated. He's a solid hand. I wouldn't say he's a main event guy, but I mean, he's making good strides. Basically, he gets RKO'd and loses. I mean, like I said, there was no one who thought he was actually going to win. They're also trying to move forward the storyline that Vicky Guerrero, who is the manager of Dolph Ziggler, is trying to get other people into her stable, because the more people she has, the more money she'll be paid. After that, John Cena gets interviewed about what he thinks. You see, last week when Raw went off the air, Dolph Ziggler attacked John Cena and beat the crap out of him and left him laying. When asked what he would do, he just walked away. So Cena comes out and rants and raves, but he tells Del Rio to get out there. But rather than him, Mark Henry comes out. Mark Henry is the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown. There's a cage match tomorrow on the super special, mega awesome, fun time happy hour SmackDown. Tomorrow. It's live. There's a cage match between Randy Orton and Christian. Whoever wins that match will be the world champion and will face Mark Henry at Night of Champions. Then Christian comes out and they both just tell Cena off. And they're both about to beat him up, and all of a sudden my boy Sheamus comes running out and protects them. And says, you know, if you guys are real tough now, it's 2-on-2, come get some. Basically, after that, they don't fight. Christian and leaves Mark Henry to get beaten up. Mark thinks about actually going and fighting both of them. Then he leaves. After backstage, Johnny Laurinaitis says the match should be made, and Triple H basically says, you know, don't forget, you work for me. I make the matches, and I already made this match. The next match is actually a match that I'd really like to see on pay-per-view, given some quality time. It's The Miz versus CM Punk. This match was really good. I've made no bones about it. The Miz is probably my favorite wrestler on Raw right now. To see a guy that came from nothing to being a main event guy in the course of the last 2 years is an astonishing tale. And he has every right to be mad that he's no longer getting noticed. He won the main event at WrestleMania. Yet CM Punk is getting all the attention. The only problem I have with this match is the ending. R-Truth comes running out afterwards and hits Punk, so there's a DQ. So it'd be, well, it was a good idea because neither guy can really afford to take the loss, but then, you know, I don't know, DQ endings is probably the wrong way. I don't like them. Afterwards, Nash comes out because CM Punk can fight off both Miz and R-Truth on his own, because they don't matter apparently, and then Nash gives him the jackknife powerbomb and leaves. After that, we have Sin Cara versus Jack Swagger, and the debate rages on. Who is Sin Cara? Is it Mystico or is it Hunico? For those of you who don't know, Sin Cara is a masked wrestler from Mexico, and he was originally portrayed by Mexican legend Mystico, but he keeps messing things up and having to have matches reshot, botching things, and he also failed a wellness policy violation and was suspended for 30 days. While he was gone, another wrestler named Hunico was under the mask and having the matches. But now Mystico is back, and now you never really can tell who they're going to use under the mask. I think tonight it was Hunico, because there wasn't really much in the way of botches. The match didn't last very, the match didn't last very long. It was Sin Cara versus Jack Swagger, and Sin Cara hit a springboard DDT and then the Lion Salt to get the pin in two and a half minutes. I mean, it wasn't very long, but it was cool. If it was Hunico, I hope they keep him, because he actually has a major upside. He's showing improvement every week. Mystico came in with a lot of hype, and I really just don't think it's working out. Maybe he doesn't work well under pressure. I mean, that does happen. So, next are the Tag Team Championship match. David Utunga and Michael McGillicuddy get the rematch against Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. When Kofi comes out, his pyro doesn't go off, which is weird. Anyway, there was a poll online to name the new champions, and they're going to be known as Air Boom, which I will not be calling them. Their tag team name is Airstrike. Airborne, you know, striking by Kofi Kingston, his finisher is a kick. Airstrike. Better. This match also lasts less than 2.5 minutes. Basically, they get the Trouble in Paradise on McGillicuddy and pins him, and that's it. Utunga gets in Jerry Lawler's face because for the last 2 weeks he's been telling both guys, Utunga and McGillicuddy, that they suck and they're boring and they don't have any personality. And they basically have a stare down with Jerry Lawler and then nothing happens. I don't understand why they insist on putting Jerry Lawler in angles. The guy is 61 years old. I guess they want him to be their version of Ric Flair, the old guy who really, really should just hang it up. You know, I mean, I have tremendous respect for Jerry Lawler. He's one of the best color commentators I have heard of all time, and in his prime, he actually was a fairly good wrestler. But he's 61. He is older than my father. People his age should not be wrestling. They will get hurt. That's all I gotta say. My favorite wrestler of all time was Randy Macho Man Savage, and he died this year at the age of 59. I would never want to see him in the ring again, even if he were still alive. Like as an announcer, or maybe as like some sort of special enforcer on the outside, or as like a referee or something, maybe. But as like a wrestler, someone having a 10-15 minute match, no, that is too old to be in a contact sport. Anyway, rant over. Jerry Lawler should not be wrestling. Next match is Kelly Kelly versus Brie Bella. I'm not going to go into my rant on the Divas. And twin switch places, and then they pin Kelly Kelly at the end. It's a minute and a half. Who the hell cares? They had the two good divas, Natalya and Beth Phoenix back there, saying should we do something? We should do something. Anyway, they show a trailer for Triple H's stupid movie that no one's gonna watch for the reasons I listed above. Who cares? Their movies are generally not very good. And then we move on to the main event. We have Mark Henry and Christian versus John Cena and Sheamus. The Great White Hope. Yeah, Sheamus. He's in a feud with the Big Angry Black Man, and that's what they called him, because apparently they're trying to burn every possible bridge that the WWE can burn, with gay people, with black people, with Irish people, with Asian people, with white people, with women, you name it, they're burning that bridge. Anyway, Christian goes for the kill switch on John Cena and gets pushed off, and when he does, he gets right into a bro kick, and then gets AA'd for the pin. Match was okay. I mean, they really didn't get a lot of time, but, you know, for the time it had, it was actually pretty good. And I'll mention this again in my notes. Anyway, the match went pretty good. It wasn't very long, but everyone got their stuff in, and it worked. At the very end of the show, Punk goes into Triple H's office, and he learns that the match with Kevin Nash is off. Now, it's Punk versus Triple H. Now, this is one of the few times you will hear me say this. A match between CM Punk and Triple H is an improvement. Triple H is 11 years younger or so, and I'm not a Triple H fan at all, but he can have a good match when it really counts. And his match with CM Punk will probably be very good. It all depends on how they handle it. The match itself has now gone up 10 million % because Kevin Nash is no longer in it, because he sucks. And I will say that every time I see him in any of my reviews. Anyway, as a whole, the show was actually pretty good. They advanced some of the storylines. The biggest problem I have is this whole text message thing it's old. I mean, I know they plan on stretching it out for the next couple of months or whatever, but I really think they should just get it over with. Like, say it was Stephanie, or say it was Del Rio, who wanted to win the title and paid off Nash, or whatever. Just get it over with. I mean, the pay-per-view's coming up. The intrigue is already there for the championship matches, and the match between Triple H and CM Punk, so let them wrestle and let that be the story. I really am afraid if they drag it out too long, the audience isn't going to care anymore. Because Kevin Nash in 2011 is not relevant enough to make people care. That's my opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That was my Raw review for August 29th, 2011, and I will see you guys down the road. Snap into it.